Today on Discover Wisconsin, we're taking a drive to the place where natural beauty, international attractions, and two of the state's busiest roads meet. Welcome to Tomah, Wisconsin's Western Gateway.
Hello and welcome to Discover Wisconsin.
This is an anthem for those who look for more and never say they've seen it all. Windows down, let's take a ride. The good land's great tonight.
At the intersection of I-90 and I-94, you'll find Tomah, Wisconsin. Most of us have probably driven through or past Tomah, but I think you'd be surprised at what awaits you when you get off the interstate.
Located between Madison and La Crosse, Tomah lies right on the edge of the Driftless Area.
Tomah just uniquely happens to be on the edge of where glaciers ended. So our topography is a little bit different. So if you come and want to travel around the Tomah area and take some of the rural scenic roads, you'll be driving up on ridges, you'll be looking down on big flat areas, and so it's very scenic. There'll be some winding roads, kind of like on the Mississippi River area.
The Tomah area's scenic, winding roads are a big draw for motorcyclists.
I've been living in the Tomah area all my life and been riding for several years. The curvier the roads, I think the funner it is on a motorcycle. You get to experience a little bit different, view than a vehicle.
I like the freedom you feel when you ride. I call riding wind therapy. You can get out and just be free and not worry about anything.
A ride down County Highway EW will eventually lead you to the heart of Tomah's cranberry country. Here, you'll find Wetherby Cranberry Company, a local cranberry marsh that prides itself on harvesting some of Wisconsin's best cranberries.
Well, I've been on this marsh my entire life, and I am third generation. My husband and I have been here 45 years. We've raised a family of 4 children and 9 grandchildren. My dream as a grandmother is to have the 5th generation raising cranberries on this marsh.
Why do you love it?
Well, I think because you have such quality of life out here. We work hard, but we have the ability to enjoy the peace and quiet that's on a marsh, and just knowing that you're able to grow a product for the American consumer that is naturally healthy. There's only 5 states in the nation that grow cranberries, and Wisconsin alone produces 50% of the world's supply of cranberries.
I think one of the best parts of my job is I obviously get to go to a lot of places, but I love meeting people. And Naji is one of those people who's just so passionate about the work that she does here in Wisconsin's agriculture industry, and she cares even more about teaching people about cranberries and the growing process of them. I came to Cranberry Blossom Day, and I've visited a few cranberry marshes in my day, but I've never visited during the summer months when the cranberries are actually blossoming. Are you kind of the brains behind Cranberry Blossom Day?
Well, yes, because about 10 years ago, I was asked so many questions about what the blossom looks like when we had our harvest day on the marsh. So I got to thinking, well, why not invite the public out and they can experience the cranberry blossom. Cranberry growing is so unique. There's no other form of agriculture where you grow it in the conditions where we do, and how we do it, how we harvest it. And it's important to tell the people, because we are such an important part of Wisconsin.
So if you travel the state of Wisconsin, you obviously have probably seen a lot of cranberry marshes off the side of the road. But I think sometimes it's important to actually take a pit stop off the interstate and actually visit a spot like this, the Wetherby Cranberry Company. Naji and her entire family were so welcoming and really open about teaching us everything there is to know about Wisconsin state fruit.
Head to discoverwisconsin.com to learn more about Cranberry Blossom Day and other Tomah attractions. Coming up, Eric discovers Tomah's year-round recreation. Discover Wisconsin will be right back.
We're trekking through Tomah today on Discover Wisconsin. Here in Tomah, there's plenty of year-round recreation. There's parks and trails all over the place. But to get on the water, there's no better place than here on Lake Tomah.
In 1937, A.L. Butts donated a lot of land in this area for parks, so they dredged the lake. In 1974, Lake Committee was founded to keep the restoration going. In 1990, a flood took out the dam, so it took 3 years to rebuild and fill the lake again. And in 2009, a major restoration project was done because over 80% of the fish population in Lake Tomah was carp. So they drained, did a treatment, got rid of the carp, and now it's a great lake to fish year-round.
So Joe, the lake's been created, emptied, refilled. Why are conservation and preservation efforts so important?
Well, it's so important because the lake was designed and built for recreational aspect for the community, for the city of Tomah. Everybody loves Lake Tomah. We got 2 beautiful parks on each side of the lake. We have an accessible fishing pier at Winnebago Park, and we have boat launches, fishing piers, fishing, canoeing, kayaking. So a lot of great activities used by young to old.
So a little bit of everything for the lake and in the park. And you're on the west side of town, so you can kind of watch the sunset.
Yep, beautiful sunset. We got nice park benches they can sit on, or go out on the boat at night and look at the beautiful sunset we have in our community.
You know, it's funny, I've been through Tomah several times, but I had never seen Lake Tomah prior to this visit. And it's just this pretty little crown jewel right on the west side of town. It was really interesting talking with Joe here in Winnebago Park, because to hear the passion he has for this lake and that the community has, not only for the town, but the lake and its creation and its preservation, that shows what the community's really into, is preserving a nice quality of life here. Lake Tomah is also a hot spot in the winter for ice fishing.
Lake Tomah, that's the place to be if you're going to ice fish in Wisconsin. There's walleye, largemouth bass, but what a lot of people are here for today is the northerns. The northerns that we have are just growing at an amazing rate. I believe it's 1.5 times the normal growth rate here in Wisconsin. We've seen a few fish over 40 inches this year. It's just a phenomenal northern lake right now, and hopefully that continues.
Tomah's annual ice fishing tournament draws fishermen from all over the state with the hope of reeling in a prize catch.
The DNR did a really good job of stocking this lake and putting limit sizes so that everybody gets an opportunity to catch fish when you come out here. It's really hard to get skunked on this lake.
One of the cool things with Tomah is you have the year-round recreational opportunities with the lake, but all of these parks in town, and there are a lot of them for a town this size, are connected by the trail. The Tomah Recreation Trail, excellent name for it because it connects all the main recreation sites in Tomah. It's about 4 miles long, connects Winnebago Park and Lake Tomah here with Buckley Park and the Aquatic Center, Veterans Park, and pretty much all of the places to play in this town. A must-stop in town is the Tomah Visitor Center, which is in this beautifully restored 1930s ranger station. It's the perfect stop along the trail to get some information or just take a break. You can find information on everything Tomah offers right here, including this place, Hiawatha Golf Club.
Hiawatha Golf Club has been part of the Tomah community since 1959. And we're just conveniently located right off the interstate, only a mile jog from there. The location is convenient for people meeting halfway between Minneapolis and southern Wisconsin. The golf course is very challenging. We have a lot of tee markers that players can play from different locations. The golf course is in great shape, and we're a bargain. One of the best kept secrets in western Wisconsin as far as golf goes.
Download a free itinerary at discoverwisconsin.com and start planning your trip to Tomah. Coming up. Thank you. Got a beer? I've got my sausage. What more do I need? We'll be right back. Welcome back to Tomah, right here on Discover Wisconsin. You know, it's funny with Tomah because all the roads come together here. You got the Driftless Area to one side, the Cranberry Bogs on the other. This really is a place where everything comes together in Wisconsin. And what better way to celebrate that than with a beer and sausage fest?
The Beer and Sausage Fest is a fundraiser for local needs. Two of the biggest businesses in Wisconsin for years have been sausage and beer, so we just figured it was fitting. Like a lot of communities in Wisconsin, we're a beer drinking community, and I think every community is a sausage community. And for $20, people can come in, they can sample about 60 different beers. We have food available, bratwurst, Italian sausage, Polish sausage. And it's just about having fun, trying some great Wisconsin and regional beers, and raising some money for some local causes.
Hi. Wisconsin Brewing out of Verona, huh?
Yes.
Excellent. I'm going to start with the Red Arrow.
Perfect.
That was named after the 32nd Division, right?
Yeah, that is exactly right.
Red
I used
Arrow
to be
Highway?
a member of the 32nd Division years ago.
Very cool.
There you go. Enjoy.
Nice pour.
Yeah.
Thank you. The Beer and Sausage Fest was a lot of fun. There's really nothing more Wisconsin-like than a beer and sausage festival where you get to sample the best of some of the state's most tastiest concoctions. Whether it's craft beer, whether it's really good sausages, they had homebrew demonstrations, which was really cool. Everybody has a great time. You've got live music, you've got food, you've got beverage, and it's just a great way to spend the day.
And if you're craving even more local flavor, make sure you stop by BP Smokehouse for some truly authentic barbecue.
My name is Darren Price. I'm co-owner of BP Smokehouse Barbecue here in Tomah, Wisconsin. My father had a restaurant, but it was just American cuisine on the East Coast or outside of Philadelphia. So I knew how to cook, but I wanted to know how to do this barbecue, which is totally different.
Darren's family members were his first taste testers, and then he began taking his barbecue to the State Highway Patrol, where Darren served for over 25 years.
And I would set it out, and I wouldn't say anything, but I'd listen. I asked people, what do you think of that? You know, they'd tell me, well, it's this, that. So I would make adjustments. I started going around the country attending competitions. And then in 2003, we won our first grand championship. Our brisket took third in the world at the Jack Daniel's World Championship, and our pork took ninth. We appeared on the Food Network. They were shooting a segment at the American Royal, which is the largest barbecue invitational. When that happened, people back here in Tomah found out what we were doing, and then that's when the catering aspect of the business really took off. It makes people feel good. I think to have a good meal. These cuts of meat, people used to throw them away. But when you can turn them into a succulent, tender piece of meat, a unique flavor, it's a combination of the smoke, the rubs, bringing all that together, and then watching people enjoy it. It's a great feeling. My wife and I have always said we want a place where people feel comfortable, they feel like they're a part of the family, and I want to turn out the best barbecue they ever had.
As you can see, our crew really enjoyed filming at BP Smokehouse. Check out more behind-the-scenes photos from our time in Tomah at discoverwisconsin.com. Coming up, Mariah experiences one of Tomah's most beloved traditions. Stay with us.
Discover Wisconsin is back, exploring Tomah. In Tomah's vibrant community, there's always something fun going on throughout the year. But one of Tomah's most popular events is the tractor pull, held every summer.
So I've been at quite a few truck and tractor pulls in my day, growing up in South Central Wisconsin, but I've never been to anything like this. This is like on a different level here in Tomah.
It's one of the only super pulls in the nation. It's a competition for power and not speed, but distance. So the tractors are all weighted about the same, but they have different classes based on the type and of the vehicle and competition vehicle, but they pull for distance. It's a weighted sled that gets heavier as they pull it for the distance.
What do you think is different about this sport in comparison to other power sports?
I'd say it's more the grassroots type people that started out farming or in construction industry, things like that, and it gets more involved with the families that way to grow up in it and compete. And if you talk to any of the pullers in the pits, they're all family to each other.
Pulled tractors for my 40th year.
Wow, 40 years.
40 years.
That is a long time.
Well, I pulled here in Tomah, Wisconsin the first year I started, and in 1977. Started pulling I won my first national title in '83. 2016, I was diagnosed with cancer, and my doctor, I had to kind of talk him into letting me go, so I told him, be the best medicine I could ever do if you let me go here, so he let me come and pull here.
So it didn't occur to you to give up tractor pulling?
No, that probably made me try harder.
Really? Why?
Just because I loved it so much, and the fan people that sent me cards, and so you know you got to keep trying then.
I'm from the Netherlands, and I come to Tomah every year for the tractor pull.
So you're kind of a super fan when it comes to truck and tractor pulls. Why do you love it so much?
And I'm a mechanical engineer, so I like to see how they put things together and how they work all things out.
What I think I'm so surprised by is I always assumed truck pulls and tractor pulls were very community-centric, but they're not. I mean, you're obviously proof of that. People are really coming from all over the region, all over the world to check this out.
This is a big pool. This is one of the biggest in America, and that's what I'm here for. I just want to see the big pools.
The truck and tractor pull is a fun and exciting way to kick off summer, but when summer starts to wind down, Tomah's Crazy Days Festival is the place to be.
Crazy Days is Tomah's annual summer festival, and it's held at Gillette Park in the middle of town every year. And it has a little bit of everything. So you're gonna have some tents on the side where you can do a little bit of bargain shopping, a little farmer's market. I saw everything from jewelry to fun lawn ornaments to lots of vegetables and fruit. And then there's also some chalk art going on.
I'm from Black River Falls, about 30 miles northwest of here. This is actually my first time at Crazy Days. I came by the chalk contest by chance and just figured I'd check it out because I did 2 of these last year with my oldest daughter and fell in love and just wanted to do another one. I like fantasy, still life, you know, human figure, monsters, goblins, fairies. I usually do black and white, so this lets me experience with color. It's the way to express yourself.
There's also a health and wellness fair, and I kicked off the entire day by doing an actual fitness class. The instructors were awesome. They had us working for sure. With my job in the summer, it can be a little tricky to fit a workout in, so I was a little grateful that we actually got to get outside, enjoy the breeze a little bit, and work. And we did a bar class, we did a little boot camp session, and we did a strength session as well. It was not easy, I'm not gonna lie, but it was really fun, and it was a great way to kind of kick off the day here in Tomah. I do love Tomah. There's lots of great little shops and fun festivals throughout the year. They really embrace things that are 100% Tomah, like the truck pull and Crazy Days, events like that. So it's fun to kind of, I think, immerse yourself into the life of someone who lives in Tomah and vacation the way that they live here. So next time you're on a road trip, don't just bypass Tomah. Get off the interstate and come explore what this city has to offer. I'm Mariah Haberman. I'll see you next week.